let's talk about this torch the flag assignment. I even made fan art for it because I was having fun. And hey, what's the point of AI if not to have fun, right? Well, make a bunch of money, take over the world, and have fun. And have it on your resume and get a job and pass a class and get a degree. Okay, there's lots of reasons for AI. But of them all, the most important one, of course, is screw around and have lots of fun. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to download this game.zip. And here's an example of how to build it. And here's an example of how to run it, in case you don't know how to work with Java yet. Okay. Become familiar with the basic play of the game. I'll walk you through that just because I want to make sure everyone knows what we have to work with. And I know you're all excited for the rubric and prizes, so I'll jump right down to that. I'm going to do a class tournament involving all the agents, meaning every agent will battle against every other agent, and it'll run on my computer for a couple of days, and hopefully it won't crash. And by the time that's done, I'll have a big ranking and I'll present it to the class. It takes, well, yeah, because it's a lot of computation. There's 80 students times 80 students is, what is that? 6,400 tournaments which are performed, and each one takes 10 minutes. And every year I struggle with how to grade this assignment. This is what I decided this time. Spend 5 hours working on the assignment, send an email to the grader that says, I spent 5 hours working on the assignment, and then you get credit. So, okay, so if you want to start at midnight the night before it's due and turn it in at 5 a.m., fine. Don't forget your health matters and things like that. That's not a smart way to do it. But you know, if you spend that much time on it, I've tortured you enough. It's time to move on. Or if you don't want to spend that long, there's another option. If you beat all of the example agents that I provide in the rankings, then I'll also give you full credit. I think it should. Here's why. I'm giving you those agents. So basically all you have to do is take it and touch it up a little bit, and then you've beat it. So yeah, I think you should be able to beat the example agents that I provide. Because it's not a lot of work to beat them. All you have to do is just improve them in some way. You could even take them and stick them in a genetic algorithm and find something that beats them. Although, to be clear, there is a difference between beating them and ranking higher than them. Why? Yeah, it's whether you're generally better. It's not whether you beat them specifically. So it's quite possible to beat the agents and still lose to them in the tournament because there's a whole bunch of really bad agents in the class, and yours is weak against the bad agents and theirs is strong against it. So that would require a little bit of time to tune and make sure that your agent is semi-decent as a player. And if that ends up taking more than 5 hours, well, then just email the grader that you spent 5 hours, and that'll guarantee that you've got full credit on the assignment. Okay? And don't lie. That would be cheating. Okay. If you're uncertain, spend a little more time. And it's totally cool to spend lots of time because you're having fun, because isn't that the whole point of a lot of things? Okay. So I hope you'll spend a lot of time. And to incentivize that, I made these cool prizes for who ranks well in the class. I also decided to make these prizes stacking, which means if you get this prize, you actually get all of those prizes. Okay? All right. First prize, bragging rights for ranking first. Plus, your agent will be included in future classes, if you allow me to. Okay?
So like in your online YouTube?
Yeah, I'll put it in a zip file and distribute it so that people can battle against your agent if they want to. Okay, third place or better, automatic A in the class. That's kind of the highest prize I can actually give. So here's the deal with that though. This has never changed anyone's grade, and I've been doing this class for several years. So I don't expect it to change anyone's grade this year either. If it does, I'll be surprised, but I'll go with it. So if you're struggling in the class, it's my strong recommendation that you don't try the Hail Mary approach by putting all of your effort into prevailing in the tournament and getting this prize. It would be better use of your time to complete your missing assignments and study for the final. Just want to make that clear. But in the name of having fun, let's give the top 3 players an auto A in the class, which they're probably getting anyway. Okay, 5th place or better, full credit on the final exam, which is pretty much an A in the class unless you're doing really badly. Okay, 10th place or better, 5 bonus points on the final exam. 15th place or better, I'll waive your latest project, or waive the late penalty in your latest project. 3 days of lateness. 25th place or better, you will be honored as a victor. Ooh. Woo, okay. At this point, that's pretty lame. Okay. But there you go.
25 people.
I think you should also read the example names so that we know.
So we know where they rank?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, we can do that.
Guess what?
That would be a shame if, one of the example ones ranked in the top 5.
Oh, that would be hilarious.
I'm going to do that, and I'll give one of them an automatic A, bumping somebody else out. So if you don't beat the example agents, you lose your chance to get the awesome score, the awesome rewards.
Wow.
Got to have a little bit of incentive to do reasonably well. Okay, I put some hints here. Here's the main thing. Please, we're going to turn in one file, and it's one file with a extension .java. It should be a text file, and it should compile in Java, and it should have your last name followed by your first name in camel casing in this form. The only reason I want to be that specific is I have to take these 70 submissions and aggregate them into something that compiles, and we need everybody to not stomp over each other. So if you would, please call your file this. Inside of it, you need a public class with that same name, because in Java, the class name, public classes have to have the same name as the file, right? So this will make sure that no 2 class names stomp on top of each other, and that way the whole thing will compile without any major problems. Okay?
That's not camel casing.
That's not camel casing?
First letter has to be
Lower.
First one has to be lowercase? Oh.
Yeah. What is
now.
title casing?
Okay, the things you learn.
How you were a coder.
No, title casing is like in and above.
Okay, what's this casing called?
Garbage.
Garbage, okay, fine. Okay, for helper classes, please use static inner classes. Do you know what that is?
Yeah.
Okay, let me point it out to you just for those that don't know. In Java, you have class Doe John, because my name is John Doe. And in here you put a bunch of stuff. You make member variables and function names. And let's change it to camel casing. Okay, this is an example of a class in Java. You can put classes inside your classes. Did you know that? If you didn't, well, now you do. But if you do, you should mark them static. If you don't mark them as static, then in fact this class has a built-in member variable to the object that was used to create it, and that creates all kind of confusion for people. If you just make it static like this, then this is just like another class. The only difference is, in order to reference it from outside of here, you have to say dojohn.helper class as the name of that class. And if you're inside of the dojohn class, you can just say helper class, like that, to declare a reference to a null pointer of helper class. So this is an example of a helper class. Now you can put everything inside of a single class, and now we will have no namespace collisions, and everything will compile. Follow? Okay. If you use, in years past, I've had lots of people include things like class state. And a whole bunch of people had class states, and they all fought with each other, and I had to go and rename it, and that made a big mess for me. So as long as you keep everything as a static class inside of your class, that won't happen, and that'll make my life a whole lot easier. Yeah, I know, I'm moving on, but I have to cover my own backside for grading this. Okay, let's take a look at this code. This is what you get when you download my package, and you can see there's a whole bunch of files in here. In fact, let me show you the graphical version of it. So here's what's in this file. There are some example terrains, and that's because I want you to practice on a few different terrains. And by the way, you can open these in your favorite painting program. Mine happens to be Color Paint. And then you can edit the thing and do whatever you want to the terrain. So you can test your agent on a whole bunch of different terrains. I recommend you do, because I will run the tournament on a terrain you have never seen before. The purpose of doing that is I want you to write semi-general agents, not hard code, something that works really well with the terrain that you've been given. Okay, so there are 3 terrains. There's a picture of the robots and the flags and the broken robot. And you've seen most of this before. That's deliberate because I didn't want to dump this all on you for the last assignment. Okay.
Because it's half as much work for you as creating an entirely new sprite.
Yeah, but I wouldn't say that out loud. Okay, so let me open all of the Java files here.
Did you make those sprites or did you find them somewhere?
I just did Google images for robot, and that was one of them.
I couldn't find it, man. I was trying to find a big picture of that one.
Let's see.
Higher res.
Google.com.
Yeah, well, at the big, about halfway through the year, I was going
Robot
to make a t-shirt for the
Skater.
class,
Oh, you wanted
with
to-
Gashler gang on it, but I couldn't find a good image.
That robot would have been perfect.
I know, I agree.
Huh. Don't know where I got it. It's not there anymore.
I found one that was like half a brain and like.
Well, hey, you could painstakingly use intelligent scissors and cut it out of this fan art one if you want to.
Yeah, you can just find a program that does that already.
I don't know where I got it. I think it was an ad for some phone or something. And then I hue shifted it to make the pink one. Okay, if we open up game.java, this is where it all begins. There is a file in here called main, or there's a function in here called main. Main calls do battle, and if we just build and run it, here's what we see. That was just me typing ahead of it. Okay, so we start it, and it immediately plays this game, and we're doing 2015A versus 2016A. So these are 2 relatively good agents that are battling each other, and if you watch them play for a minute, you'll see that they throw ping pong balls at each other.
That one, the one in 2016 is vibrating.
Yeah, so
Makes them harder than it is.
yeah, hopefully by now I'm giving you some pretty good agents, so you have some examples that are really strong to start with. So I want to see everybody's agents better than these.
I'm guessing going through the water was not.
And you could sit here and watch it for a very long time if you care. I don't know which one's better.
Speed it up.
But here's the thing. Instead of doing the full battle, and by the way, you can do battles between any pair that you like human and sitting duck. If you do human, then you have control, so you can play it yourself.
How does that work?
All right, let's show it.
Yeah, what are there?
Left
Because
click and
there's
right click.
3 different agents. How does one?
Okay, so here we go.
I mean,
If I click on an agent, then I left click to select him, right click to go. Left click to select, right click to go. And if I right click, oh wait, no, if I left click not on an agent, then he throws a ping pong ball or a tennis ball. And sitting duck sits there for a long time, which is kind of their whole point. And hopefully you can beat them. Haha, I killed one. I'm winning.
Duck literally doesn't do anything.
That's kind of the point. He's a sitting duck. If you can't beat sitting duck, your agent is kind of pretty bad.
Isn't that impossible? Or does it
Haha, I beat him.
actually attack the flag?
It attacks the flag.
That's true. I have not beaten him yet.
Okay.
Okay, here we go. Go, go, go. And, see how I'm low on health? Let me point out some of the rules here. Every time you throw a tennis ball, you lose health. So there is some advantage in not throwing tennis balls at a hyperactive rate. Notice if you're sitting still, your energy fills up faster. If you throw a bunch of tennis balls and then start moving,
If you're
it doesn't refill as fast. When you're standing still, you regenerate faster. However, standing still is dangerous because you can get hit, right?
Hey, gunfire.
Okay. Is friendly fire hurt you? I can't remember.
It totally does.
Okay, well, good, because that means there's something to worry about. Yep, friendly fire hurts. So you might want to program in, don't hurt your own agents. Okay?
The bots are faster than the people walking back, right?
No, oh, yeah, so yeah, the broken robots slowly inch their way back to their flags where they respawn. So dying near your flag is not very bad. Dying far away from your flag is really, really bad. Moreover, they travel faster on sidewalks and slower through lakes, just like you do. So, but when you respawn, you have very little energy. So here they are back again, but notice they're easy to kill. But they respawn again because they died really close to their flag.
So, I'm trying to think of the best strategy to win this game.
Yeah, so that's the main thing I want to talk about today. What's the best strategy to win the game?
Hunter-killer, that's what I'm thinking.
Teleport.
Okay.
Just stand there by your flag and wait for them to come to you and then beat the crap out of them and they just rush their flags and they're dead.
Hey, blue wins.
Does that work?
So you'd think, I don't know. I want to say that if it's that easy, somebody's probably tried it before. And these are the best agents that have yet been developed in this class. So I don't know. Maybe study them, see if your idea beats them, then let empirical testing be the answer. If that's all it takes, then hey, easy A in the class, right?
Right.
Okay, so here's some things I want to point out. Usually deaths occur when some agent stupidly walks into the blue lake. Because once you're in the blue lake and you throw a tennis ball at them, they can't run away and you hit them, right? So obviously, don't walk in the lake and you won't die.
How far can you throw a tennis ball?
Well, let me throw all the way to the flag and it goes that far.
Okay.
So there is a maximum limit. Okay, my takeaway from this is don't walk into the lake. How would you code that up? A-star search, yeah, just penalize walking through slow terrain. Now, a lot of people, uh-oh, they're going to kill me.
You're gonna lose the thing.
Oh well, red wins. When I play the game, notice it's totally symmetric, meaning the terrain only shows half of the map. That's deliberate because, in fact, both agents are being told that they are on the left side of the game. And the fact that one of them's on the right side of the game is kind of trickery. Therefore, haha, don't try to get my flag. I'll kill you. So, in fact, there's a strategy right there. Wait till they expend all of their strength and then shoot them, and then they die really easily. And then they have to go all the way back to their flag, and you can get there first. They're both playing as if they're on the left side, and then when it draws them, the game does a little math to invert it and have them playing against each other. So you always think your opponent is over here and you're over there. There are some constants in the code that will allow you to know the width of the screen and the height of the screen and the length of how far you can throw your tennis balls and all those types of things. And I'll show you those in a minute.